And so now we're going to Connie in Illinois. Hi, Connie.
Hello.
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 Are you there?
Well, I'm here, yes.
How may we help you?
Yes. Oh, you somewhat answered my question with the gentleman just before. I'm to the point where 5.5 months out from the affair being exposed. My husband's not done any. He did 5 weeks of counseling because I forced him to do it, and but he's not done anything. He quit. He said it's about him. He's the one who's messed up. He needs to figure this out. He says we're not to the point of marriage counseling because this is all about him. But yet he's quit the counseling. And I quit counseling because, he said it's about the finances, but yet he's continued to go to the gym with a trainer and pay $75 a week. So I feel like the counseling should be more important than that. I'm to the point I feel like I need to give him an ultimatum.
And what would that ultimatum be?
Counseling.
What would the ultimatum be, Counselor? I didn't hear, Connie. What's the ultimatum?
Well, he either needs to go to counseling, start working on himself, or to move out. I mean, I know that's against what you keep saying to do, but I don't know what else to do. I feel like he's wallowing in self-pity. I think he's shamed about what he's done. He won't commit to anything. He's just kind of existing. And I can't continue like this because I know he said he had an emotional relationship with her. He said it wasn't sexual. He said when it first came out, I asked if he kissed her, and he said yes. And it was 9 months when it started. So just a couple of weeks ago, he told me he'd only kissed her 4 different times, which I don't believe that.
Why would you want to know that, Connie?
He talked about a future with her.
Why would you want to know what he did with her? How does that benefit or value to you?
It gives me an understanding more where his relationship was with her.
Not really. What's going to happen there, Connie, is this. You're just going to hurt yourself. If you're asking questions like, did you do this, did you do that, did you do the other, whatever he answers is going to cause you more pain. Now, if what you really want to do is to save the marriage, to make it good again, then I would strongly suggest that you don't ask the kind of questions that the answers to are just going to hurt you. Now, obviously, you can do what you wish, and it is your choice. I mean, I don't make your decisions for your life. And if you're at the point where you're saying, okay, either this is going to have to happen or the marriage is going to end, if you really are there, then obviously what you're calling an ultimatum would be the appropriate thing to do. We would not call it ultimatum. We just use a different word. We call it a core, a continuing a relationship essential. Like, you must do this if this relationship is going to continue. But whenever you do that, and we'll just use the word ultimatum because you did, if you're going to do that, you have to be prepared to bring about the consequence. If you say either this is going to happen or I'm going to see a divorce attorney, then if you get that ultimatum and you say, and this has got to happen by the next 2 weeks, whatever it might be, if he doesn't do that, then if you don't see the divorce attorney that you said you were going to see if he didn't, then you can't give any more consequences at all because of the fact that he's going to know it's just not serious. You're not really going to do that. And so my urging to you is don't ask any more questions that are going to hurt you. There's no benefit to you. There's no benefit to you whatsoever. It doesn't make anything any better. And if indeed you are ready to end the relationship, if he doesn't do blank, whatever blank is, then you can think that through very carefully and decide, okay, if I'm going to give this continuing our relationship essential, this ultimatum as you call it, okay, by when does he have to do that? And what are you going to do if he doesn't? Now, one other thing, Kimberly, she said to go see counseling.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that the whole time. And that would be my encouragement, is to really refine why you're asking him to do what it is you're wanting him to do. So the core in this situation. I didn't hear back, what is the reason for counseling? Is it because you believe the counselor's just going to magically change something? If so, what is that thing that you're hoping is going to come out of it? And make that the core instead of go to the counselor. Maybe it's, to be able to get out of that self-pity and be able to move forward in us doing some things together to work on our marriage. That might not necessarily come through counseling. It might better come through some other avenue. But if it is going to come through counseling, you better know that the counselor that he goes to isn't going to say, no, you made a mistake or whatever. I mean, that's not going to get you to your end goal. So I would refine that a bit more.
Yeah, before you give your husband the ultimatum,
Yes.
you better find a counselor that's going to be in tune and harmony with what it is you want to accomplish. You say, well, oh, it's a marriage counselor, then they're all going to be about saving the marriage.
I wish.
Not necessarily so. The good marriage counselors are worth their weight in gold. We love them, we cherish relationships with them, and we send people to them when people need that kind of thing. But you better check that out in advance. Don't assume that because he or she advertises themselves as a marriage counselor that they're going to be pro-marriage. As a matter of fact, one very famous marriage counselor, I won't even mention the state that he's in, we had a person call us and say, it's either between coming into your workshop or going to see that counselor. Now, if going to see that counselor was the better option, then we're all for him going to see that counselor. I mean, it's like you do what's best for you. But out of curiosity, we looked this counselor up. And on his website, he says, I don't see saving the marriage as necessarily being the goal of what I'm doing here. My goal is to help each person wind up being happy with who and what they are. So if your husband walks in saying, I don't want to be in this marriage, or I don't like being in this marriage, or I want to be with that other woman, if that's the goal of the counselor to make you happy, what do you think they're going to recommend? And so if you're going to start giving that ultimatum, I would strongly urge you to make sure that if you're thinking about counseling, you interview a counselor. And you make sure that he or she, don't just ask superficial questions, ask specific questions. Like, what if he says he wants to be with the other woman? How are you going to deal with that? Because I want somebody that's going to stand beside me and help me fight for the marriage.